Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out, shout out, shout out. I am in the middle of getting myself together. So if you hear any echo or whatever, then duly note. I am currently located in the restroom. Oops, excuse me. Where the lighting is better for me, if that's okay with you all. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Let me see here. All alone. Good afternoon, sweetheart. Melly Mel. Hey, my sissy poo. Good to see you. Mentors. Happy Thursday. Scorpio. Hey, love. See Jaleel. Hey, love. Shout outs. Good to see you. I got a few things I would like to say, and I'm not going to take a super long time at all saying them because I have some things to do. If you would though, give me 1 second to wet my throat. Let's see here. Cousin TC's in the building. Sister Tinker's in the building. Beautiful Queen in the building. Mama Three's in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Not y'all saying, damn it, Gina. I'm done. What Gina do? What Gina do? What did Gina do? What's Gina got to do? Got to do with this? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Again, if you could hit the like button, if you would like to, it ain't no pressure. If you want to tip the script, you can as well. Ain't no pressure. You know what I mean? If you here, thank you for being here. Appreciate your presence indeed. I'll go ahead and get started. Not Marsha, what's Marsha got to do with it? Ah, y'all so funny. Anywho, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I love the good humor. I do, I do, I do. Like I said, I'm gonna make this kind of speedy or whatever. But I do have something that I want to touch on real quick. You know what I mean? And then I'm going about my business. Shorty Red is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I can't wait to see all my GGs. I'll be joining my GGs on tomorrow. You dig? And some of the GGs is about to be together today. Ow. It's gonna be a great, great, great time. You dig? Let's see here. Hey, that one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out. So listen. Let's get this together real quick. Let's get this together. Let's reel this in, get this together, line it up, and move on, okay? Yesterday, hold on. One more good time, y'all. Hold on, one more good time. Yesterday, I did a live that, it was titled very befittingly. It's the contents of which were very befitting. Let me do this. I was reading my Bible and thought you may be interested in the topic I found interesting. I will email you and see if it may be a topic you would like to discuss possibly. Okay, let me know, baby. Let me know. Hey, Danny, how you doing? So this is the thing. Yesterday I did a live. A lot of you was present for. A lot of things was explained and ran down into that live. Let me tell you a big problem that is within this sector, right? A big problem is the very things that I spoke about yesterday. The very things that I spoke about yesterday, it kind of reared its head, right? It kind of actually helped along the point that I was. How can I word this? I was making some points in my live yesterday that unfortunately proves itself to be true, right? Listen, Linda. See, what I am not is in the mindset of immaturity. I'm not in that season. I'm not in no season of nothing to prove to nobody on here. I'm not in no season where for any reason, for any alliances, for anything, shall I hold my tongue. I speak and I speak clearly. I say what's laid on my heart to say, and I move on. Now, let me tell you the biggest problem with some things. Now, yesterday I spoke on a few different situations that occurred between a few different people, right? Not to which all of them I named because all of them weren't necessarily my vocal point, but a couple were. Now, let me let these YouTube streets in on something in case you missed the show or was only watching the show so you can see what type of mess you can pull from the show. Listen, the biggest problem is I question people who just don't know any other way to receive something except in a negative way. I seriously have concerns with people that no matter how positive you try to be, a negative person will make anything they can negative. And that's the problem with why this sector is so negative in the first place, because negativity thrives here, like I said yesterday. Because hurt lies here, like I said yesterday. Because the devil lies here, like I said yesterday. Now, what's funny to me is there are people that was in my live that may support. There was two people I mentioned in my live. One was Felicia and one was Amber, right? When I spoke yesterday, I didn't speak on defense of either one of them. I spoke on the defense of their dearly departed. Let's make sure we're taking notes here as to not cross up my words to fit whatever feeling you want to push out of whoever you support. Okay, let's continue. So, what words I use to the exact and verbatim is I am not here to stop a beef between two grown women. I'm here to try to push for the two people beefing, not to drag their dearly departed into the situation. Now, no way, no how is the point of my the point of me saying this has anything to do with what started someone's beef. Wasn't there, don't know. Has nothing to do with who started what first. Wasn't there, don't know. Which is why I came from a neutral perspective of, guess what, it's not about the two people beefing. I was speaking on what the two people are using to beef with, not pointing out who did this, who did that. Simply, I knew that someone would have to make a difference, make a change, put a stop to it, this, that, and the third. It could go on forever, this, that, and the third. What I also said is that no parties who I'm naming has to listen to me. I am speaking my point of view as a very extremely grown woman at the age of 42. I can speak upon whatever I want. And if I want to use in a situation and try to bring some type of positivity to it, try to turn it around, then guess what? If I fail, at least I tried. You heard me? But to take something that has no reason to be something to be used as negativity, first of all, I made sure to name all the dearly departed in different orders. So one wouldn't be the only one named first, and the other one wouldn't. All that crap that people uses to turn something positive into something negative. I blessed up the memory of dearly beloved Alexis, and I blessed up the memory of dearly beloved Miss Debbie. There was nobody's dearly departed left out of this situation. It is sad and just tragic that people will, if you say something positive or try to help fellow people lead themselves out of darkness, whether they want to come or not, that's between Felicia and Amber. If they choose to take the advice or keep pushing, they're grown just like I'm grown. But at least I can know I used my voice to push along something different other than, fight, take each other's heads off, keep going, keep dragging, keep disrespecting each other's this, that, and the third. At least I'll know I'm not one of those. All right? At least I'm not somebody that's looking for a reason to turn somebody's positive point of view into something to further talk crap about, trying to see a problem in someone that's simply bringing up a situation on behalf of both. So don't go running around this internet like me speaking up for the dearly departed gives me an opportunity to gain anything from no parties. It is a shame how y'all take you just, if it's negative, you got to make it more negative. If it's positive, you got to turn it into a positive. I mean, if anything, this is a big reason why people need to do something different, because people don't even know what they fighting for. Oh, no. You'd rather sit in the chats and fight for people to drag each other's dearly departed because somebody owed this and somebody do that. If that's how the people who's doing it feel, let them. I haven't judged one without the other. I haven't prejudged one and didn't judge the other. I literally moved on a very, very fair and just way. Even made a lot of the live about myself as well. It's really a time to grow up. Some people run around here and can't give peace to nobody because they too busy trying to influence the chaos. If these two women want to keep going back and forth, that's their prerogative. You know how my life doesn't have to matter? They don't have to take my advice. Just because, what did I say yesterday in my live? I know that just because I'm saying it don't mean anything's going to change, but at least I know I'm doing my part to try to push for peace over discord. Don't play with me like that. There's people out here just need for negativity to keep stirring. I ain't say anything that should bring any offense to myself from Amber nor Felicia, because I didn't say nothing wrong. I didn't isolate one over the other. See, our problem is neutral to y'all means some type of disloyalty. It means this, it means that. Listen, Linda. I'm neutral to the dearly departed. I didn't just take one person's beloved and make them any more important than the other person's beloved. My fight was for the beloved, the dearly departed, not any one content creator and their negative supporters. See, the show can go on whether I open my mouth or not. But at least if I'm going to see something and I choose to say something, I'm going to say something that could lead to some peace and positivity. What did I say? If this don't apply, let it fly. If you don't want to take the advice, you don't have to. Neither one of them. Don't be trying to make no beef and discord where it ain't none. It's time to really grow up. A lot of the people that sit, this is what I talked about yesterday. People sit in the chats and be wanting to stir up chaos for no reason. There is zero reason why, because I'm speaking on behalf of both parties' beloved, dearly departed, someone wants to make that as in I'm an opportunist. Am I an opportunist or are you an opportunist because you need two people in darkness so you can be entertained? Talk to me. If you're going to talk to me, step up to the plate and speak clearly. What is it that you want out of it? See, I don't get entertainment behind what is happening. A lot of people, oh yeah, don't let her get away with this. Don't do this. Don't do that. I ain't speaking on behalf of any one individual. I'm not up here speaking for Amber or Felicia. I'm speaking for their loved ones. Too bad a lot of people don't join me in that because they need the beefers to beef so they'll have something to entertain their days as people have done for 4 years. Don't play me like I'm self-righteous because I know how to control my actions and my words at this season in my life. Don't treat me like I'm no opportunist because some people done got too familiar, too normalized in the darkness. Don't speak ill on my name because people need other people to not know their worth, to not change because you don't want nothing to change for your own entertainment. See, you're not showing nothing about me. You showing who you are. And that goes for anybody seen and unseen. Baby, I'm past that mark. I'm past this mark. I ain't gonna beef with you. I will raise you up. I will teach you up. I will put a lesson in your ear. Who are you if you sitting here regardless of who's this, who's that? Listen, Linda, get a grip. Values and this, that, and the third ain't about who I like more or not. Otherwise, I'd said, Felicia, just let Amber crash out on her own. Just let her be the evil. No, I addressed both with their dearly beloved. Don't play with me. Don't crisscross my words for your own narrative because y'all sitting here needing people not to run out of people to beef with. Baby, if you looking for me to suppress my feelings because I'm concerned with being aligned here, aligned there, baby, I'm aligned with me. That's why I can speak so freely. That's why I can move how I move because, baby, while everyone running around here trying to be aligned with someone else, baby, I'm trying to get back aligned with me. Catch up. There was no unfair words spoken here. See, it's too many people running around here worried about what side they on that they can't even speak truth. They can't even bring nothing fruitful to a situation because they too worried about being connected to a side, yet has lost connection with their own selves. Grow up. Find your way. Find a life. Find something other than making sure turmoil, beefs, and chaos continue going. Don't be mad because I got a different type of conversation. When you got a positive word or optimistic word for somebody, you got to be looking for something. You got to be a opportunist. Opportunity to do what? Now, if I was sitting here picking a side or doing something as such, it would be, oh, you're an opportunist because your channel's over there dry with the Lord. So, yeah, now you need to put your baby. Thank you so much, Miss Lolita. Thank you so much. And to those that, have said similar things. And I know it was. I know it was because of the intent. Not only was the intent good, but it was executed just as it needed to be. But what you're not going to do is play with me. Every time you turn around, it's somebody that feels the need to want to front with their words because you got a lot of yourself to kick it. You ain't got a lot to kick it. If you want beef to continue, just say that. If you want people to stay in discord, just say that. It's not I wouldn't have cared where anything started. I said the same exact conversation when it came to Jeannie and Amora. And guess what? They continued until they saw fit. I said the same thing with Ashley G and whoever she was beefing with at one point. This wasn't no picking and choosing from who's the better person from which side. When all parties are involved, it don't even matter no more. It matters how it's gonna end. At some point when you grow up, see, when everybody worried about getting a lick back, that's how things keep going. I don't care if it was reversed and it was the other way around or who started what. That wasn't my point of view. Y'all always reaching for something to make it look like it's something else. Grow up. Some people speak according to exactly what they're trying. You don't got to spin my words around. You don't got to tell me what I feel behind my words. Stop playing with yourself because you're not playing with me. I was very clear yesterday. Not to mention have been even though I may be aligned more with one party, guess what? When you keeping it real, it didn't stop me from showing love to Amber, not based on who she's beefing with or not beefing with, or if we ever had beef, get along, or besties, boo. I know how to put my immaturity aside for maturity and put my integrity and my values first. I ain't poured nothing but love onto Amber during her hard times. And it's the same way that when Felicia feeling down concerning her mother, I'm there for her too. Ain't not a single one of you low vibrational people out there have seen me in anybody's chat supporting people speaking death on each other or death on anyone's loved ones. Why? Because I control my actions. I know how to control where I am because I know I'm not going to lose supporting myself and my values to support anybody on this here YouTube app. All right? Huh? Am I coming in clear? Don't require no curse words. Don't require me to call nobody out their name. You see how that works? Do you see how you can make points on here when it's actually a point? I mean, if all people want to do is call you, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I grew up a little bit and I'm trying to use the tools that helped me grow out of a dark space and put it on someone else who might be ready. If they not, continue in whatever space you want to be in, baby. I don't want to be like the rest of them that just promote may my man win. Not the best man, but whoever your best man is, whoever you standing beside. No, if all parties can do better, listen, whichever party want to take up the advice can take it up. I ain't put a stamp on who would. Don't speak for me. I have a voice all my own. You ain't got to speak for me. I came with nothing but love yesterday. Because I don't operate in hates. This wasn't about the parties that's beefing. This was about the dearly departed. I remember when I did a live about a couple of months ago, and it was directed to, I believe, Don and AG, right? And I was saying similar things to them. Even though I may have been closer to one than the other, I gave them both the same advice. When I was talking to Amora and Jeannie, my support might have been of that with Jeannie, but I gave them both the same advice. Catch up, catch up. Remember when I was saying how I wish they wouldn't pin their children against one another? Notice that I didn't make my commentary about who was first, who was second. It could have been the person I was lined with that was second, responding to the person who spoke first. It didn't matter to me. I gave them both the same advice. See, don't play with me when my reputation, when how I move speaks for itself. I have often addressed a person, that I consider, and I ain't got no enemies. Amber is not an enemy of mine. Neither is AG. I don't care for her more. I don't have no enemies. See, when you giving good advice from the heart out of logic, it's not about who you like the most. It's about wanting to see everybody be a better version of themselves, not just who you aligned with, even who you not aligned with. You should want to see people do better. I want to see those who consider themselves my enemy do better. It's crazy wild to me. It's crazy wild to me how people make excuses for this nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. Whoever want to fight, welcome to. But I think it's enough people out here rooting on the BS that, listen, the YouTube streets don't need me to root it on. If I'm going to be anywhere near it, it's going to be with the same positivity that I'm utilizing in any subject that I speak on. And the raggedy sector is no different. You never know who might be ready to make a change or a positive difference in their lives. Just because you might not be one of them, don't mean you have to be a blockage to others. It's a lot of people do that spiritually and in the physical. It's a lot of people want to be a spiritual blocker. It's a lot of people want to be a blocker of values, a blocker of integrity. It's more important to entertain the masses who can't help you when you going crazy. Can't help you when you got too many voices inside your head. Can't help you when you feeling low in the spirit. A low in the spirit person can't help a low in the spirit person become higher. So forgive me if I'm wanting to represent high vibrational things. Forgive me if I'd rather rub off on somebody with high vibrations than with war. You can ignore the peace I'm offering, but you don't have to use peace to start war. I feel like only negative entities, evil people do that. And it's a few around here. Want to turn anything good and decent into a fight, into war. Go sit down somewhere. In the name of Yeshua, go sit down. It don't make no sense. Just get used to following evil. People ain't even letting evil chase them or try to catch up to them. It's people literally running towards evil. Hey, wait for me. Hey, wait for me. Come on now. Sorry if I choose not to be one of them. My bad. My bad. Don't hate the change in me. Dislike the unchanged things in you. At some point, you got to grow up. At some point, you gotta move different. At some point, you gotta break chains. So at some point, you gotta be the change that you want to see in the world, not just be a complainer of such, not just say, ain't no God and worry about why God ain't doing nothing about this, that, or the third. Well, if the power and the will is in your hand, you do something about the evil inside of you. Huh? If you ain't got no God to pass it over to, if you don't want to believe in a higher power, well, find a higher self in you and make a change. Huh? If people run around here don't need no God, well, why can't you be a better person? Why is there so much evil running rampant? Let's get it together. Hey, lovely Lynn. Hey, my baby Lolo. Shout out. Break room, you can't talk sense to a demon spirit, but I believe you know that already. You have to call that spirit by name. If you know, you know. You know I know. You know I know. But the funny thing is, when you in a certain place in your mind, your spirit, and in a certain season, I ain't worried about proving to the world about the demon having no sense. I'm making sure the demon knows I got plenty. You heard me? I don't need the demon to have no type sense. Just the sense enough to know you can't out trick me. That's all. Yeah. Cause trust and believe me. These demons, they already know who they are. That's why my spirit bothers people. That's not of a good spirit. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what nobody believe in. What people not believing in is the ability to do better. How about that? When people gonna start believing in their ability to do better? Because you're not going to stop me from bettering me. You're not going to stop me for caring more about people that everybody out here claiming they support so much. But yet all people want to see is people self-destruct. All people want to find is a reason for evil things to continue happening. Instead of trying to speak life into people, instead of trying to speak hope into people, love onto people. Ain't neither one of Amber's nor Felicia's hardships or losses entertainment for me. Not a neither one. See, let me tell you the kind of person that I am. You heard me? See, when you have values and integrity, it ain't no it's not no what you feel don't mean nothing. It's all about who I like and what they feel. See, that's what you call fake situations. It's a lot of fake supporting going on, right? See, what I will not become is somebody's fake supporter, so much so that I become fake supporting myself. See, you got to do something a little different. You heard me? See, my support in others is going to show in how I support myself. You heard me? See, when I make a change in myself, I can change how I help others. Maybe previous help wasn't the help they needed, or we still wouldn't be here right now, would we? If I was rooting them on every day, doing this type of thing, and oh, you got a reason, you got a reason. They both could have reasons. They both have their reasons. Don't play with me. Now, I'm not letting the devil kick my behind in the spirit. I sure ain't gonna let nobody kick it cyberly. I ain't letting nobody kick it physically. Listen, Linda, you gotta lift more weights in your spirit than that, sweethearts. Nah, this ain't what they wanted, Melly Mel. What people want is a fight, not truth. See, people want people to be ugly with it. It ain't just about responding. Everybody ain't out here just talking, looking for a response. People are looking for a specific response. And the only type of response anybody gets from me is assertive teaching. People want a war. You can't get no war when I'm not meeting evil with evil. I'm not meeting logic with emotions. See, I'm logic. I ain't moving off emotions. People so wrapped up in who they love and who they like. People don't even care no more about right and wrong. They don't even care about right and wrong. It's all, and this whole thing is made up of whoever I like is right and whoever I don't like is wrong. This ain't about truth or nobody's truth. It's about what's going to keep the mess up, and I will not be used as a participant to do so. There are people, my word, that might not want to receive my words, but that's not going to stop me from speaking things that could resonate with others. I seen some people in my chat yesterday who very much so appreciated my point of view and a different perspective other than pushing what's already being pushed out here. Why does that need my assistance? It doesn't. Nor did my point of view need validation, but it was validated. I think I even have people who highly support one or the other who knew that my words were very, very fair. Wasn't spoken based on who I like the most. It was spoken on pure facts of the situation. See, if you're going to dibble and dabble with me in this season, you got to be prepared to learn something. I'm not here to argue with nobody, but don't think for a fact that, listen, if I choose to address something, it ain't about me in some change that want to address a situation. It's about how I address a situation. Catch up. See, that's the difference that you get from me. It's not about what I speak about. It's about how I speak about it. See, there was a time you'd get a lesson, but sometimes you get equally as much a F you this and you are this, that, and the third. That got too many seasons, or the amount of seasons that was required of it. You heard me? That ain't my season. Y'all got to grow up. Anybody's lack of elevation ain't my problem in these YouTube streets. I still have eyes, I still can see, and I still can speak. This ain't about what the public want me to talk about and how they want me to talk about it. This journey, I keep telling you, is mine. This journey is mine. If I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you. At least I'm going to be the one talking with some sense. Maybe assertive, but it's with some good sense. I ain't looking for the sense in nobody. I'ma just remind you where I know the sense is at. You heard me? White Dove, welcome in, sweetheart. You said, I heard your live this morning and you are so right. Sadly, these people have taken this to a whole other level. It bothers my soul that we don't even know if we have tomorrow and this is what they choose or what they chose. Period. Period. You know? Yesterday, it was people, not the people I was speaking on, but it was others who was taking accountability, including myself. Including myself. You see how wonderful this is? See, it's people out here that they so worried about the person they're focused on. They're not focused on things as the whole picture. Well, you might didn't take the message, but someone else did. What you want to smite the message for? How does a message resonate to so many others positively, but you want to bone carry or speak about something in a negative way, just like people do with spirituality? How can you be complaining about what somebody believe in their spirit when they moving in better and in the fruits and you not? How do people try to condemn what you feel, what you believe in, and all these different things, when whatever they do or don't make them seem like a better version of a human, right? I'm just saying it's time to grow up. Anybody's lack of ability to grow around here ain't stagnating mine. I'm learning to use my words in with intention. With intention. I don't speak just for entertainment anymore. It's some people looking for the words that I'm speaking. It might not be you. You might not be there yet. You might not be ready. But don't speak about what I'm speaking on based on you the end all be all. Because what I'm saying, I don't speak like I'm the end all be all. I speak like, guess what? There used to be a way that my perception might have been this way before. But if I'm speaking on some things that brought goodness to my life, goodness to my thoughts, goodness to my words, if I'm being the change that I'm speaking about, how you complaining? If I'm doing things that keep me from having for your favorite person to no longer be on my list, right? Whoever anybody's favorite person is, I'm actually using my voice to not be dragging or talking spit about whoever it is you love and like through the YouTube streets. But yet, in all, even positivity goes slam over your head. Because negativity is all a lot of you know. So stuck there. What you stuck for? Sometimes people see the control someone else may have, and the reflection is them actually seeing how much control they don't have. When is a friend or a supporter gonna tell anybody that true strength lies in controlling your emotions? See, it's a time I thought the last word was strength. I thought not being out roasted was strength. I thought not being able to be cussed out and give a dang was strength. I thought being drugged 7 ways from Sunday and still being able to give it up was strength. It wasn't until I tapped into a different type of strength where I realized that a lot of those strengths were actually from weak places, from weak thoughts. The real strength came when you can navigate your world without worrying about or shall I say this? The true strength came when chaos can be happening and it doesn't disturb your peace. See, I can discuss some chaos, but I don't let it disturb my peace. See, strength is when you can hear the words of your enemy and literally not be bothered. When you can almost laugh like, dang, unfortunate soul. True strength is being able to leave something where it's at. I don't recall yesterday asking a specific anyone to do anything. I recall asking the sector as a whole. This stuff has been going on as a whole for years. This ain't the first merry-go-round of deceased people being drugged. Felicia and Amber ain't the first. Whoever was the last doxer wasn't the first. Whoever pulled the background last wasn't the first. Though people can be used as an example, it's an overall problem. See, I ain't just speak about CCs yesterday. I spoke about supporters too. And oddly enough, it's some supporters who literally stepped up to the plate and recognized some things in their self. And was very honest with themselves. Some of y'all don't know how to be honest with yourself, and that's why you stay recycling the same actions, the same motions, because you just won't admit, I must have evil. I must be tapped into the evil side of myself if I laugh and take pleasure in evil. Is that my problem or yours? It's funny how people can even call out evil while being evil. Let's not call out God for the evil in the world when it's a free will and self choice for people to do evil, to speak evil. That ain't just a 2CC's problem. It's been a problem for years. Hey, King D Ham, thank you so much for sponsoring this live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, the moral of this story is don't switch up my thoughts, my words, or none of that to fit your narrative. Because I'm going to call it out. Don't run around here trying to change something from my heart and make it something about an opportunity or a motive. Because then I'm going to need you to explain opportunity to do what? I don't need nothing from no parties involved. What I can do is tap into the love that I have for all as humans from a godly space, meaning I ain't gotta like your actions, I ain't gotta like your words. But guess what? I don't have selective do better. See, some people got selective vision, selective hearing, selective this, that, and the third. Or better yet, they too busy worried about who said what, when, where, and how. All the focus is, guess what? Because people too busy looking at the beginning, it gives an excuse for us to be where we at. That's what it did. It's excuses not to grow up. My words only bother people who don't even want to recognize the evils within themselves. We talked about that yesterday, and I hope Miss Lolita is still in here to be able to back this one sentence up. Remember, Miss Lolita, if you're here, when you said something in my chat about your own walk and what you recognized, then what did I say? I said, I'm so glad you said that because what I want people to understand is I am in the practice of my journey. I'm not sitting here where only people who scared of me becoming holier than thou is scared of the strength in me that want to title me things that I'm not even titling myself. I ain't never titled myself a Christian. If you go back to my earlier teachings, I have always spoken about these types of things, always said what I believe in, and never claimed a religion. I don't have to. I don't have to have a title of separation. But yesterday, I certainly told Miss Lolita, I said, that's what I don't want people. I said, I'm glad you said what you said, Miss Lolita, because it directed me to be able to tell anyone that's in my bushes or watch a replay. My lives ain't for the holier than thou because I'm not holier than thou. My lives ain't just for a Christian. My lives is for anyone who finds interest or a message in what I'm teaching. My life is for those who want to receive. It's not for those that's scared because they're still caught up in some things. They gotta avoid a moment of positivity. That's what this whole sector will make you feel like. It'll make you feel like because you're not moving in some perfect walk that you can't even attend I'm not moving in a perfect walk. I never will. This is some for people who want to recognize the fruits and the universal laws. See, I'm not here to separate the universe from the Most High. I think everything goes hand in hand, from the artist to the art, from the painter to the painting. This ain't for people who will need to pretend that they on some special journey or no. This is for people who ain't scared to listen about a different journey. Maybe pick up a few things, if not all. I'm in a season where I'd rather teach 20 than entertain 200, being out of my character. I saw what I needed to see for me. And I'm sharing in my journey and my experience for those who might recognize some things and where they at. And if not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe something I've said will resonate to someone who ain't ready today. Don't smite my words because you might not be one of them. Hey, Miss Ronette, welcome in. Yes, please, you guys, if you would hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Lolita. Thank you. And I also had thanked you yesterday. You were one of a few who everyone who came in here. It was such a wonderful live. It was really a wonderful live yesterday. It really was. Seeing people be able to sit that load of stuff down for a second and talk like adults. See, when I wake up, I don't wake up a YouTuber. I don't wake up Break Room 411. I wake up Tiffany. I wake up with a few titles before CC is the one I'm most recognized by. I wake up a wife, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a granddaughter, a niece. I wake up God's loved one. Let me see here. But yes, it was a lovely live. There was no digs thrown at anyone. It was a live of love. And I think that's what people scared of. They feel like if it get too peaceful around here, what's going to entertain your wicked spirit? That ain't my problem. I ain't here to make the devil feel comfortable in my spirit. I'm not here for the devil to be pleased anymore. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people got an A in that class. Let me see here. I ain't here for subbing. I ain't here for my content to be for a side or a this or that. My content is universal. It's universal. I ain't one of them that choose to be positive behind in the shadows, but want to be wrapped up in mess here, there, and everywhere. No, don't speak for my character. Don't none of y'all see me anywhere. It's been a long time since I've sat through when I made my changes in my journey. You see me go in chats and I speak and I show love. Depending on what the subject is, I stay. And sometimes I go. I can speak on things because I move in action. I can speak on things because you can actually see me moving as such. I can speak on the dearly departed and the respect of such because I've always given the dearly departed respect. Don't play with it. See, I don't expect things out of anyone that I can't expect out of myself. You will never see me telling somebody what they should be doing if I'm not doing it. See, we're not the same. Instead of recognizing that, listen, Linda, I've moved in reality. I've been in this saga where during the beginning of me wanting to see something different in myself on YouTube, I've had my name called. My name was coming out of everywhere. And stuff I had nothing to do with. Borderline was gonna be used to pin or whatever for whatever motives, whatever this, that, and the third. But see, I know how to stand my ground. I know how to say, I don't know what's going on, but I will not be a pawn on its chessboard. I got people now that live to want to say negative things about me, live for it. And wonder why their words don't resonate. I'll tell you why. Because it's who I am ain't in their words, it's in my actions. You see why that don't work? You see how that don't work? See, I can keep it real on any given person. It don't matter. Y'all know who constantly obsessing over me, but saying I'm obsessed. You know, y'all know who out here constantly watching me to say something negative about me, worried about what my God doing for me, worried about what I do for myself, worried about every move that I make. See, when you get to a point where you moving, when you exist without it being because someone needs to acknowledge your existence, things change. I've never been one of those people. I've always stood firm in my square. I just know there's areas to which I could always improve on. This ain't about perfection, it's about improvement. Mm-hmm. And I'll call that demon out by its name. That demon name is Neo X, who's constantly lurking and looking for a fight, who's constantly obsessing but want to say somebody's obsessive. Is constantly watching and posting and waiting and lurking and hiding in the shadows. Neo ain't out here looking for a response. Neo's out here looking for vengeance and war. It's not about me responding about her tactics and things that she's doing. I could not respond and still be being poked and prodded and this, that, and the third. See, it's not about responding. It's about knowing what response someone is looking for. Some people ain't even really speaking on subjects from the heart. They're speaking on subjects that lead to subjects they really want to speak on. And in her case, it's me. See, I can use my own stuff as an example too. You see how that works? Listen. I'm still a example. Even in my own stuff, I'm an example. See, that person named Neo has been screaming my name and this, that, and the third, and false like this and that and the third, and commenting on everything that I have to say over here. And you just wonder in your heart of hearts, why come forth? Because they need something from you, not because you need something from them. They need something from you. They need a certain reaction out of you, or else they wouldn't even be in the action of messing with you at all. And until they get whatever they want, they're unsatisfied. Neo's over there unsatisfied. She wants a battle. She wants me to call her names and this, that, and the third, so she can say, look and see. Look, look, look. No, 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 no. I have no problem mentioning what's the evils out here and evil actions and things like that. I have no. Hey, Miss Sean B, shout out. Yeah, it's not about what she. Responses are also not about what someone deserves. See, let me tell you what she doesn't deserve. What she does not deserve is the response that she wants from me. Right? See, sometimes your responses can learn somebody up. They might not want to show it because it'll feel like a loss to them. But nah, sometimes it's beneficial to speak with someone that wants to consider themselves your enemy, you know? You see how this works? See, it's all about a learning experience. It's a learning experience. It's when you really find out what's really somebody's problem. It's usually when someone has a personal problem with you. So instead of focusing on what exactly is their problem, if their exact problem is something that they know sounds silly or maybe like jealousy or ego or something like that, then it becomes building problems. It becomes, well, since it really wasn't a problem in the first place, we got to make it a problem. I got to make you what I need you to be to the people. I need you to be combative. I need you to be evil. I need you to meet me in hell, and I won't. So, you know, see, it's not about if I respond or not. I've been sitting here not responding for a month. That doesn't matter. Responding or not responding ain't the problem. You always got to know what somebody wants from you. It's not just any old response. No. Listen, evil always trying to slip through a crack, waiting for anything to make about them, making my journey about them. See, I can talk about what I go through as well. Well, nah, what people want you to go through. Let me say that. I can talk about these types of things. Why? Because I'm neither here nor there about it. I have zero emotion in it. I used to teach about this when I first started YouTube. I used to get a lot of people that would ask me, about roasting and how you go so long, how you you just be seeming so unbothered, and you have enemies that want to say you responding because you bothered. But for me, a lot of things were just fun. I was just good at it, right? I ain't use roasting as a way to literally hurt nobody. It was to make people laugh. But I found myself being able to stay a roaster and not just a straight, going straight to hell, because a lot of times I would remove or not allow it to necessarily penetrate my emotions. See, a lot of people don't move with humor because they're in their emotions, one way or the other. Just like with the person who wants to be my enemy so bad, moving too much with emotion, only putting my name on adjectives that describe themselves. Hmm? Hmm? When people like her want to spend their time turning people away from a Christian God, but we not able to see the fruits in her. I'm just keeping it real. See, if you're going to talk about someone you don't like, let it be for a learning experience, not a dragging one. Where I'm past that, you look like this, or you look like that, or derogatory names and things like that. I'll tell you why you not bothering me. That's what I'll do. I'll tell you what not bothering me looks like. It looks like when you're moving in anger and I'm not. It looks like when you can't settle your spirit because it's vengeful and I'm not. It looks like when vengeance create endless chaos within you, where you eat and sleep thinking about who you don't like, not knowing that they're controlling your energy. How? Not because they want to. See, what Neo doesn't like is the weakness in her. My strength reminds her of her weakness. We don't have to be afraid of these conversations. It's all about conversations that help people understand. I'm not in no war with her on name calling. Who's going to learn something if you're a B, I'm a B, you're a B, I'm a B? Why you're doing this? Why you're doing that? No, I'll tell you why you're doing what you're doing. Instead of asking you, I'll tell you why. See, when you're not bothering someone and they just relentless and this, that, and the third, it's because your presence, your strength, your love, your tenacity, your resilience bothers them. Because they know what it's like to give up when it gets hard, or know what it's like to have to lie about their character, lie about their life, lie about their presence. It's when they told enough stories that you already know how it goes. You already know how it ends. When you realize that their problem never started with you, their problems followed them to a place where you are also present. See, once I stopped addressing it in battle form. See, when I was dropping shorts and things, this was a form of my so-called, respond vengeance, if you will. I'm only keeping it real. The only way we do things to, embarrass or this, that, and the third is to satisfy, our one-ups or this, that, and the third. When I realized that the one up I had was within my spirit, wasn't about these channels. That person is not jealous of what she thinks I am. She's jealous of who she knows I am. See, I'm not afraid to tell someone who's just itching to be my enemy No, 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 no. See, I'm not afraid at all to address my enemy in a different way other than roasting, other than talking spit. It's not about not addressing your someone who wants to be your enemy. It's about you addressing with logic, common sense. See, Neo is not mad about who I am. Neo is mad about who she is. See, I'll tell you all of this without using any other content creators that their story has nothing to do with me type thing. I'll use me. See, yesterday I was trying to use some other situations as examples to keep things nice and clean and tight around here, right? But I decided I can use my own example and show you how we can still keep things tight and right around here. See, I'm not working against Neo to fail. Neo wants me to fail. And her vengeance spins out of control the more she tries these tactics, just like Satan does. And then when the tactics don't work, they seethe, just like Satan seethes when you hold on to God. Notice that it wasn't much Christian or religious talk going on this strongly around here until I made it a regular conversation over here. See, one day I was just simply reading the word right out the Bible. And I was called like a false prophet. I was called this. I was called that. What I was called was things that made it seem as if that would be me, had wrote the word of God. See, just like many of you, I'm just someone who believes in the goodness of the Bible. You heard? I'm not looking for what's wrong with the Bible. I'm applying what I feel is right, what makes me better as a person. And because the things that I'm applying to my life is showing and proven in these cycles where God is touching me in my spirit, even when I'm thinking on this level, it's something that it's just, when I tell you, it's been an abundance of nothing but goodness. It's been an abundance and a healing on my mind. Positivity, positive thoughts will heal you of negative thoughts. See, the reason why I think of Neo less than Neo thinks of me is because my mind isn't on vengefulness. See, Neo is a negative entity, a negative human. And because I'm in the realm of positivity, she's someone that doesn't fit into my positive thoughts. Understand? This is why you've only heard me actually address it like I don't know, 2 months now later. Even through the things that I fought against that she was trying to cause upon me, I still did not continue doing what I could have continued to do. See, the things that she didn't want me to put up a while ago, and fought my, put my channel in some sort of jeopardy by way of 7 strikes maliciously. I won all of those. I won them all. It was my choice to take these things down. I'm pretty sure you know because, I mean, we have both, her and I both have agreed and know not agreed, excuse me. Her and I both have told the parties that, the numbers are exact, right? No one said a different number than one another. Battle won. When my page then got affected another time by way of demonetization as I continued to be reported falsely, so and so forth. I didn't come on here and make no big issue out of it. What I did was do exactly what I was supposed to do, which had nothing to do with anything against that person. I didn't fight against her. I just fought for my page. And I won. Understand this. Since I've been talking about the Bible and positive things and higher vibrational things, notice that for about a few weeks, there was not much of a physical peak. Not much. Why? Because so much effort had failed, right? See, I'm just telling y'all the goodness of good fruits. This is my story. It's my story to tell. I find it enlightening, right? I have shown how someone can feel whatever they want to feel, and you can just let them feel what they need to feel. I learned that, remember, family, there was a time when I was going live and speaking against lies told in different areas and this, that, and the third, right? There was a time where even though I knew I didn't have to, it was important for me. I made it important to me to, rebuttal untruths and this, that, and the third, right? Not because I was forced to, not because I had to, not because I cared so much about anyone's opinion. It was because I know that I'm good at laying down events, things that happen. I know I don't got to make up stuff as I go along. I know I don't have to add to or subtract. None of that, right? See, the public might not know one's heart, but make no mistake about it. When you actually trust in the fact that when you trust in your control, when you trust in who you are, when you get back the how you think as a strong higher being, when you picture yourself before coming into whatever mess you find yourself in, when you actually got to sit back and think about stuff. See, a lot of people can't move from certain places because I couldn't just think about no one else's hand or understand this. See, I'm a walking testimony in it because I've had people put more dark things, send more darkness my way than I ever sent back to a multitude, right? It's not just that I found my strength. I'm just strengthening my strength. It's not that I don't have power. I'm just strengthening my power. It's not that I don't have beliefs. It's that I'm strengthening my beliefs. See, everything that's in me is in everybody else. It's just what everybody else is choosing to tap into. See, it was a time I was tapping into the same types of thoughts and ways as everyone else, vengeance, last word, last laugh, this, last that. But what I realize is the true last thing that I really need to focus on is making sure that I didn't stay so wrapped up in having those last things that I forget that we don't know when our last days are approaching. And I'm sorry. I stopped wanting to, when I know that tomorrow's not promised, I don't want the last thoughts on my mind somebody that I find not to be pleasant. I don't want to be thinking about my enemy day in and day out. I would never, I didn't do that then. But I realized the amount of time and effort that you can't roast without the person you're roasting being on your mind. You can't even pre-plan a roast without pre-thinking about the person who you're about to roast. See, there's a lot of things that keep your enemy on your mind that looks like it's in your control, but is it? But is it? See, some people are so busy focused on what winning looks like to society through entertaining and things like that, that they forget just how sweeter it is to win in the right places. And then you win in all places, for instance. If I would have kept thinking that the true win was last word, last this, last that, I would have never got to experience just how beautiful it feels to win when someone wants your attention and can't get it, or when they want you to respond a certain way with evil, with negativity, unjustly, when they want you to drop the ball and you just keep on dribbling. You heard me? When they want you to drop the ball and you just keep on getting them free throws. When I'm telling you is when they want your channel to fail and somehow God reminds somebody that it ain't about the numbers of people that show up. It's about inviting me in. See, I'm a testimony that I don't need nobody to verify. I'm verifying it for you. See, the more that I grow, the more that I know. You heard me? And I refuse to go back unlearned. See, I'm still working it all out. I'm still trying to get it right. But see, I refuse to stay where I was, where my eyes wasn't quite as clear. See, what I'm trying to tell you is if I'm going to judge you, I'm going to judge you justly. See, what I'm going to show people is in my testimony, it's not because I'm presenting it to you. It's if you're going to watch me, really watch my steps. Don't try to readjust, reorder. Don't try to tell somebody I'm on a different terrain than you see me on. Understand where I'm at, and then you will understand why I'm unfazed. You will understand why I can stand on business and always have. You will understand why the biggest thing is that I stand on business with myself and what that really looks like. See, when you stop being strong for weak things, you can find that it's no weakness in your strength. See, you got to get there to go there, and some ain't ready. That's not my problem. See, somebody fighting against me, in my words, can't win because my words are operating from a positive place of love. And that love starts with my higher self, my higher being, and my higher self. See, in order for the love to be genuine from me to any of you, it got to be genuine for my higher being. It got to be genuine for me. It don't mean that I'm gonna be perfect. But when I look at my life, do I want the things that make me less than the value of what I am being the things on my mind? Do I need the hatred that spews around the YouTube streets? What my concern is, or making sure that I am fulfilling each day? That when I have a moment to open my mouth, that I'm doing it to put some positivity on somebody. When I'm speaking to my husband, that I'm pouring life out my mouth, that my words and my sounds is always full of hope, highest faith, and definitely works along with my faith. I want my words to lift people up, not just here on the YouTube streets. This is within my home, around me, because that's who I am. I can't help it if that's not who you are from the get-go. It's not my problem. That's how I feel about it. Sometimes people don't want the lesson because the lesson hurts. I stopped letting it be my problem who wants to keep themselves in mental anguish. Peace is easy when you acknowledge it, accept it, let it in. You can deal with things peacefully when you tap into the peaceful side of yourself. See, when you start looking at yourself instead of your neighbor, that's where the true change comes. So many people sitting up here being the same things they spew out, just like the person over there that won't leave me alone. Just like Neo X, who wants to keep talking about the evil that God let be allowed in a world, but yet chooses to be part of the evil allowed into the world. See, when you ask these questions, you got to be able to be real with yourself, because then you would have to ask yourself, well, why is God allowing you in the world? But I don't think that's a question you really want to ask, because if you don't believe in God, then that means that the will is solely on yourself. And why do you choose evil? Why do you have evil thoughts? Why do you move with evil, vindictive actions? Why don't you know how to let go? Why don't you know how to move on? Why don't you know how to let love rule over you over than hate? Why do you continue to complain about things that God ain't changing, but you're not trying to change them as a human? See, I don't mind conversating. I don't mind conversing. I don't mind at all. My, my dialogue just a different groove. It's people like Neo that only wants to point out what she wants to be of whatever mind. If she wants to call someone hypocrites, double minded, this, that, and the third, wouldn't that be the same? See, people ain't. I'm not a person who talks of hypocrisy. See, even remember when I told you that there's a reason for most things, like contradictions in the Bible. Well, if we understand that man is imperfect and had a hand in putting these Bibles together in its translations, wouldn't that explain contradictions? The contradictions wouldn't have been on God, it would have been on man who put his hand into God's work. It's not that there ain't no answers, it's that people can't accept the answers even when you give it to them. No one can, the same way someone says, they can't prove this, someone else can't prove what, you say it can't be proven that it is. Some people don't realize that it can't be proven that it ain't. Where's the argument? You got to feel it in your heart and in your system. Say, I'm not living for YouTube where I need Neo who don't even know her own journey. I mean, I could tell you the truth about Neo in a very polite way. Because I don't hate Neo. I just see Neo for who she is. Someone who has, instead of letting atmospheres transform to her greatness, she's only tried to join other groups of that she could, it's kind of like group hunting, identity hunting. This stuff is really easy to explain. Don't require me to call her nothing. When you don't know who you are, so you just trying different things out and see what works. hmm That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Someone who needs a army of people behind them. Someone who says someone like me is trying to start a cult. Cult where? I'm telling people it's spaces in their lives to start a journey. It ain't gotta be with me. It's for you. But the same person who speaks of these things is calling on others to join forces with her. See, someone who's making shorts, trying to manifest Kevin back into their life, trying to manifest being an army with Kevin and Callie. Someone who can't separate her emotions out of her thoughts and her debates, which is why it makes it look more like some type of emotional, spiritual breakdown than anything. I tell you no lie. This stuff is simple and it's easy to see. Someone who'll say how bad your saga is, but won't end. Someone says who shouldn't listen to someone that they can't stop listening to. See, when you just let people play out whatever it is they need to play out, sometimes it doesn't need your help. You could just be watching. It doesn't need my hand in it. I let Neo call me evil while continuing to put up voodoo depictions of me. Her rants over there don't bother me. She never has to stop. Go on forever if that's what's laid on your heart. But you see how all this just runs? All it took was weeks and weeks of false like this and her over there and this, that, and the third, and depictions and voodoo dolls and whatever else continuously being made and attacks of my channel and this, that, and the third. But the one time I say, hey, what's your problem? It's, oh, she's obsessing over me. And then want people to think I'm the crazy one. You see how you don't gotta do much? I ain't have to go live and da 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 da. Matter of fact, supporters was telling me I didn't even know. Cause that person she wasn't on my radar. Literally, it was dropped in the comment section after one of my lives. Was someone like, why that girl still speaking on you? And you're not even, I don't know. Let's go live and ask. It's been weeks and months, and I mean, geez. But yeah, so I just say all this to say, this ain't, sometimes you have to know what it is your enemy wants from you. You have to know, some just, like I said, all it took was for me to mention the word omnis while talking about those who may not be ready to take on a religion. And yet that went to a whole live, like she's the only person or invented omnism. Yet and all don't even represent it well. You see what this is? You see what I mean by jumping from one area, one group to another? It's not even about practicing within the group. It's about doing what you're told to do within the group, but not really learning things for your own understanding. Everything she does is about a debate with someone else instead of just cultivating whatever you are, whatever you in. I don't have to argue about sanctity. I don't have to argue about mental things or none of that. When you're gonna showcase it all on your own. And that's just simple as it goes. You know? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with praying for your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Or praying, you can pray for the just and the unjust, you all that, ain't nothing gotta be selective when it comes to just being real with yourself. But yeah, so I'm just explaining to y'all that I haven't subliminally started anything. I just started a different journey. And what happened? The devil started stirring. Long as there was an opening for it to turn peace into war, there's the evils know, well, you got an opportunity, you ain't got to rush. But soon as you start showcasing In public, the works. Here they come. You got fake, you walk fake, it is fake. Listen, if your higher power was worth more than mine, then why don't your higher power got your attention? Why are you mad about where my attention is? You see how this works? If you want to talk about how better it is to not believe in something, well, listen. I mean, if I didn't know this person and was just looking at their page, I would automatically not want to click on anything. Hence, it wasn't full of voodoo dolls and this, that, and the third during the beginning. But you see how that goes? So that's what I mean when I've been saying, sometimes you can just let, you know, let the powers that be. It's gonna showcase what needs to showcase. I don't have to sit up here and keep spewing out how evil or demonic the people is. You know what? People are nosy. They go see. Well, let me go over here and see what she's saying about you. Now let me go over here and see what this person's saying about you. Know what I mean? It's gonna show for itself. I don't speak about her with no vengeance and stuff like that. Why? Because that takes emotion. And I'm not emotionally I have no emotional connections with her. I don't. It's not we ain't known each other a lifetime. We're not some long time buddies who, oh my God, I can't believe they're not cool anymore. We met last October. I'm not about to beef with you longer than I even known you. More than your name and your channel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. If you gonna use these things as an example, like I do, it's just for the betterment. So if I'm gonna talk about what Neo is over there doing, it's to simply say this is why I don't have to call her names. I don't have to prove a point because instead of me hoping you believe my story, you can go check the story yourself. Unless you just one of them that go with what anybody say, then I can't help you, right? But yeah, proof be in the pudding. It don't gotta be in my mouth, my heart, or my thoughts. No. No matter what Bible I'm reading, what God I'm talking about, if people feel better in their spirit when they come hear me than when they come hear you, why is that a problem for you? I mean, I'm not making you bring the vibrations down when you enter a chat, you know? You choosing to operate in that energy and people get mad when their anger ain't effective. When what they think about you is ineffective. Child, listen. People be on the internet literally thinking they can change who you are based off, you know, very little interaction with you. Child, listen. You have to let people know. If you knew my story, you would have to make one up. It's simple. So yeah, it's things when you get to this point, you just like if you feel nothing. It's actually kind of laughable. You just kind of giggle. So yeah. So people like that when their vengeance is not ineffective, it makes them stir even more. Just like the devil. He runs around trying to, the devil don't come to empty houses, right? A robber, a thief don't come to empty houses. Neither does Satan, neither does your enemies. especially one that you really ain't got no reason to be beefing with, you know? That's a different type of enemy. A volunteered enemy is a different type of enemy. So, let me see if that makes sense. And right now, hey Nicola, how you doing, sugar sugar? But yeah, y'all. So that's how I go. Like, I can use anything as an example and show y'all how when you do it differently, like people will it'll show where a problem is, who a problem is, or this, that, and the third, right? Because when it's sides on sides and things like that, like my grandma used to say, when two people argue, you can't a person watching don't know who the fool or who the wrong one. It's just two people equally arguing. If two people shouting and cussing each other out, no onlooker knows who was the one that deserved it. You look equal, right? Come on now. There's a lesson in what I just said. When you not acting like your enemy, it takes the effort in you having to show who the problem is. And it will show you who doesn't have control over their energy. You will see when, like, for instance, like with me, I giggle if somebody's speaking on my character repeatedly trying to force something down people throats. And it's like, if you really what your enemy say you are, it would be shown to more than your enemy. They wouldn't have to say, look, you'll see, you'll see, you'll see. They ain't even seen. I'm telling y'all no lie. The world look different when you pay attention. It becomes so easy when you let it be easy. Like, that's how you take the power. I'm trying to tell y'all. The power ain't in the argument. The power in being able to snicker at their little tiny toddler efforts. Now, ain't that funny? When you look at your enemy, go ahead. Picture your enemy or whoever trying to be your enemy in your mind real quick. And picture them in their body, but as a toddler. Go ahead. Go ahead. See, when you get where I am, when you get where I am, imagine your enemy at your, if you put them spiritually where they really are, because they moving in their spirit, not their body. So you got to make their body as low as their spirit. Am I lying, Mel? Am I lying? So when I picture my enemies, I just picture them, with like Alvin and the Chipmunk voices, and they like come to my knees a little bit, and they be like swinging like Scrappy Doo on Scooby Doo, and them. Let me at him, and you just be holding your enemy back with a finger. You just got a finger on their little forehead, and they just be trying and trying, swinging them arms, and you like, oh, look at it. Now, you ain't gonna run out of energy now, is ya? Oh, look at you go. See, when you start looking at your enemy like that, it's like, just go sit down for you trip. Go sit down for you trip over something and then be trying to sue me. Go on somewhere. Y'all know these enemies be trying to sue you for self-inflicted wounds. You hear me? You better watch out. They be trying to sue you over self-inflicted wounds. They be coming after you, then running to your elbow by the eye socket, and then be trying to sue your elbow. If you don't go sit down, ah, reaching their arms up trying to get in your lap. I'm telling you, child, it tickles me. I'll be like, oh, keep practicing now. Don't you give up. Don't you give up now. All right? Don't listen. Oh, man. So yeah, that's how I feel like people need to just start looking at things and also look at problems. That's another thing, people also know how to point out problems in the world, but yet how I don't get that. It's like all around hypocrisy. People want to point out problems in the world, but be a problem in the world. People literally judge how much of a problem they can be based on how bad a problem is somewhere else. That's how people judge their spirit. Well, long as somebody do worse than me, then I ain't doing too bad. No. The person you comparing your actions and spirit to ain't who gonna be judging them at the end of the road or judging them now. You know? But yeah, so it's just that, but however, and I just use her as an example, you guys, because of course it's just continue to be an ongoing thing. And I just wanted to make it a point out there that I know how to do both. For quite a while I ignore. And then if when you get to a point where it's not about arguing, it's not about proving anything, it's about sense. It's about making sense of something. I use these things to show even in others, is the everything that turns into beef, it goes to the furthest thing, right? Different situations could be different levels of problems and beef or whatever, but it seems that any beef gets to the same result. So I be trying to kind of bring some thought to, hey, it's not about erasing a problem or whatever, or acting like a problem don't exist. It's about really evaluating how deep is the problem. How deep is just not liking one. Like when you stick to the exact problem, a lot of the arguing and filler stuff, like it's like start at what is the actual problem, not now everything under the sun was always a problem because because and when that keeps going like that, things just become like petty and just fake. You know what I mean? It's like people should not, none of us, including myself, should like to just want to create like, things get so bad to me because simple disagreements or, and this includes why I was in certain things, because there was a time that I didn't speak as peacefully as I did now once I started speaking. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about where I was, it's about where I'm trying to be and where I'm at, right? But like I said, the enemy wants you thinking about yesterday. The enemy don't want you focused on a change today. They want you focused on making up for it tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Excuses today. You feel me? Hey, Royland. Thank you so much. Break room and chat. You spoke the truth yesterday. Thank you, love. That's what I thought, because I didn't make that about who I like more or none of that. When you give advice and it comes from the heart, you ain't selective about who you want to do better. Or picking and choosing who needs to stop what. I didn't say this person need to stop or that person. Anything I said was a mutual comment to them as women, period. Because before we're anything, we're humans and we're women, right? So why would I be out here promoting if I found my way, not to, participate in the zoo? Why wouldn't I want that for others? You know what I'm saying? I was in the same zoo, you know? but people wanted to make it like, and I feel that there was, if I'm wrong, people can correct me, but I did sense that it may have been led to like I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Alluding to, um I don't know, Amber doing something more than I told Felicia to do, or something, to that nature. I'm trying to see exactly how to word it. Like I was putting some type of pressure on Amber that I wasn't putting pressure on anyone. That's how it seemed to me. Like I was calling Amber out for something. I even told them hey, listen, I ain't tell nobody to stop. I talked about the things that we should avoid within the beefs, and even said if they wanted to continue the beef, so I was rooting for it to stop against their loved ones. I didn't put a time limit on, well, you go a little longer on this loved one, because no, I mutually said, because when it came to the loved ones, it wasn't about how much they hate one another or dislike one another. I'm coming from a place of it being equally worth it in that point, but I can understand if, I can't tell nobody how to fight. Let me say this. Just because I hope for something different don't mean that I'm saying I don't get why this, that, or the third. I know how to understand why we do things that we do. It doesn't mean I have to root for it. That's the difference. Around here is only where you get ridiculed for wanting better. It don't mean that you gonna choose to do something different, or that I'm like condemning anyone. It was that I was rooting for fighting for the memories of people no longer here. It's something I always protected. And that's something, protecting the deceased is something I will always be have an alliance with. I'll always have a protection for over a whole lot of things and people. My protection was over the memory of their loved ones. Nothing about, Amber, could you please leave Felicia alone? Because that's my homegirl. And this Felicia's a grown woman, and so is Amber. Thank you, Alan. Love you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't like when people make things about what it ain't. Don't make my words about whose side and stuff you on. No. I'm on Miss Debbie and Alexis' side. That's whose side I was speaking on, respectfully. Don't turn my stuff into no, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was coming from. Fam. I don't like that, and I'm going to address it anytime. Don't, I can't tell people what not to do, not to change narratives, not to try to tell somebody what they thinking when they say something. I'm not telling nobody none of that. What I'm saying is, when I say what I say and the record is there, ain't nobody gonna make it seem like I'm saying something to one person over the other, or respecting the memory of one person's loved one over the other. Listen, leave the goofy stuff out of stuff. Because what you should be saying is break room is right. But when you thinking in an immature mind, especially when you're not even a person that's directly in the beef, it's their loved ones. Everyone else should be rooting for it to stop, instead of the immaturity of, yeah, this, that, and I mean, that's crazy. I ain't even know who started what. Why? Because I don't sit in it. I don't sit around for me to get no details on why people are dragging each other's loved ones. My focus don't be on who started what, when, where, and how. My focus be on where it's at in that moment, and how can we take this out of the spirit of both. And I'm also pushing for people to figure out is the only way that when as adults, yes, I've also learned that if you, just like I presented to you today, there is a way that we learn if we're just doing things to be doing it, or is there really a meaning behind it? Sometimes I bring these points up so people can address, well, if two people have an isolated problem, right? It becomes a war where the exact problem gets lost in all the things that's going to occur. It just becomes about problems that's going to be about there being a problem somewhere, right? And so a lot of the times a problem is never truly addressed. It's like, okay, this what you did, and that person like, this what you did, and then it's okay, now it's time to talk air spit, right? I mean, as grown adults, why can't we uplift the mental by saying, okay, how do we understand one another? How do we understand one another, right? Because two people can be hurt, two people can see something the way that they see it, this, that, and the third. But when does it become hearing, the situation out and agreeing to disagree when one can't? Here the only option is duel to the death of everyone, like spiritually, spiritual death. For what? You know? So yes, I'm in a place where instead of me dueling, I'm just speaking on, some good things. So yeah, and so therefore another live was made today by me to reiterate those things, right? Just to, as I come to my 2 hour mark and a close, that's what I wanted to point out. Like, this is what people need to grow from. And that's keeping things negative when, remember when they used to say, if you're not going to solve the problem, at least don't be a part of the problem, right? When you little, your parents ain't care who started the trouble, but when you got in trouble, it was about the fact that you found yourself in trouble. And we got to get back to those thoughts and reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It's just a lot wrong with the way people are thinking. It's too much point the finger to get out of why I should be pointing the finger to myself. So as I continue to learn, it's people out here that I'm not speaking a foreign language to when I come back with trying to pour some of this stuff out for my folks. Only people who sitting here fighting against growing have a problem with a conversation about growth. You can even use yourself as an example, and someone will still, oh, you think you this, that, and the third. How when I added my own self into the mix? This is when people are talking to keep a problem going or look for a problem instead of just getting a message or not getting the message. You see, life is simple. You just gotta know. It ain't no need to talk to people who don't want to be a part of a solution. That's how too many problems occur. When you got too many people rather add on to the problem and dispel the people trying to come up with a better solution. I don't understand that. Everybody want to talk about uh, you know, oppression and things from back in the day and back here and back there, but are part of oppressing spirits just as much. It's really crazy. It is really a crazy thing. So that's why I'm like, Listen, let's not do that. And let's not do that with me because I don't got time for like if people want to operate in that type of immaturity, leave my name up out of it. Cause I'm not I don't speak for you know what I mean? I don't speak for beef. I speak so people can learn something, do something different. And sadly, people would rather point out why others shouldn't follow the positivity, right? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Let me see. Hey, brother Allen, I hope you doing well, love. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, I had to get get myself together and thought that I would just chime in. That's not cool to try to put your words in. I mean, people gonna do what they do. I don't even care. Like I said, well, it ain't me caring about people doing what they doing. It's the fact that, when you point out stuff like instead what I'm showing people is instead of pointing out people's stuff, it's that the third is exactly how they moving and who they are. That's what I'm trying to push. You know, try to because like I said yesterday, so the only people turn a positive thing into a negative is those something that might help a person be better. You got people, evil spirits, don't want people to grow. Let me see. You know what I mean? So I expect people to be how they are, especially when you got a lot of ego, you got a lot of pride, you got a lot of greed going on, you got a lot of coveting, and you got a lot of denial that goes on. But once people deal with they self and understand why they do what they do, you really it'll make you, you know what I'm saying? When you start dealing with yourself and know that anything that you wrapped up in or any emotions, anything you feel, it starts with you. You know? When you stop fighting with words and things like that, like I'm trying to tell you, it's not a battle to talk to people. It's a learning experience. And like I said yesterday, only people that want to keep nasty stuff going on, um, get mad and make excuses for people to keep pushing in these types of fruits and spirits. They people want a show. They don't want peace. They people out here wanting a show. They don't care about people peace. You know? Especially when a person that's not at peace, they're if they already having some trouble getting to their peace, why would you want to keep someone in a space that like I said, sometimes this stuff, if you listen, you can almost hear the demonic energies that can come out of the anger that sits within people when they're arguing. You can, you know what I mean? It's quite interesting to say the least. When you busy, when you busy screaming, thank you. You can't hear your true self. You know what I mean? Sorry, y'all, I had to run in the store. But yeah, so it's like, people got to realize it brings me peace to speak positive. It brings me peace to know that I'm not a part of discord or chaos, right? People gotta realize when your journey is for you. You ain't gotta look search for peace. You ain't gotta try to bring it. What I know is I'll try to bring some peace, but if you don't want to, if you don't want to be invited to a little peace every now and then, that's on you. I'm not going to be in your chaos because you don't want to enjoy a little peace. I'm not going to force myself to be in chaos and trade my peace for unpeaceful entertainment. Like I said yesterday, when you real and you're not judging things by sides and all of that, and this, that, and the third, it's been no matter who first, second, and third, let me keep it real with you. Um, like I said, I don't dissect everybody's beefs and dramas. I know whenever at whatever point, I could have said something a month from now. And these two could be going, person for person. I could have waited and said something a month from now. You know what evil people who want to see beef, gonna do? Well, they gonna still be worried about who first and who said something second. It's never going to be about when the end should come, right? Now, if I done already spent a week or so or something knowing where it's at, when I know where it's at, it ain't like to the people in the cheap seats who act like I done sat in Felicia's chat and rooted her on, and then Amber got started, and now I want peace and hair grease. Nah, baby. Peace comes with whatever journey I'm on anyway. And if I'm gonna speak on anything, I'm gonna do it peacefully and with care. I'm gonna do it with my values, not about my favoritism. See, I offer my advice to two people. It didn't matter what my relationship with either one of them was. Just like when Amber lost her sister, I know what that I know that is an unspeakable type of pain to even think about, let alone go through. I didn't have to match my empathy or sympathy up with my personal feelings about nothing or no one. It's about the principle of the matter. It's about knowing that you can picture. If you lost one of your siblings, God forbid, I didn't have to go through it to know that got to be a hard thing. I didn't have to love no one in Amber's family to know that whoever beefing with anybody in Amber's family, don't take the fact that whoever out here we might not like, and I'm not saying me personally, all right? Everybody know I ain't got no beef with nobody, However, what I'm saying is, when it comes to knowing that people are loved regardless of your feelings about them, that people mourn regardless of anyone celebrating this, that, or the third. See, my values gonna always come before an alliance or a loyalty. I'm never gonna be so loyal to anybody on this internet to where I become disloyal to my values. I didn't have to linger in Amber's life. We ain't have to become bosom buddies because Alexis, God rest her soul, is no longer here. It was about standing in a gap as a human. Right, man, as a human. It was because no matter what, in a place of grief, no one, who, no matter what or how they doing whatever, my condolences wasn't based on whoever's anybody's actions, anybody's thoughts, anybody's feelings. I didn't have to measure Amber as a human being. I didn't have to worry about what someone who's beefing with her would think, because anybody that I roll with, the first thing is it's not about or support. It's not about being above mistakes. It's about knowing that if I do the someone who I am cool with, who knows my essence, would never even question why I would or hold me for giving support to someone who has who's in bereavement. Notice that the person who's beefing with her still did the same thing. Regardless if the beef continue or not, we got to understand that we humans first. And that's what people got to start getting in their head. When you want to see people not get to a point where that, and again, shame on those that think it's a reason to want to see that continue on any, with any one of them. I don't care which you support. Who is he one? What? Who's the real problem here if people sit here would rather people root on two people in that type of situation and want to see it, want to see who gonna TKO who in the honor of their beloved one. You think I would be concerned with who's judging me for not doing that? You think I'm judging whose loved one should be drugged, not based on who started what? I'm an onlooker. The same way it's even going one beloved person to the other person's beloved person. It's just as even with removing that. There is no winner at the end of this. There ain't a super sticker, super chat channel, or anything that is worth this type of war. And people should start regrouping on what type of support are really giving when this is what people want to support in people. I'm sorry, I'm just choosing not to be one of them. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. That don't make me above whatever. That makes me the same way you can promote negativity, you can promote leading the people to positivity. The same way you can join in beefing, sneering, becoming somebody's enemy because somebody you like became their enemy. Just the same way you can join in and all that. What's wrong with joining in on the opposite or leading the way to the opposite? Supporting the BS is why the BS don't ever stop. And it's and I'm sorry, but anybody thinking that this should be entertainment and judging me, judge yourself, baby. You ain't making me look at me differently because I'm encouraging two black women who lost two beautiful black women in their lives. There is no win. Ain't nothing in that but listeners. Some people think like, I'm listen. Like I said, all I do is bring a teaching moment. I'm not here to convince nobody out of doing what they want to do. I'm not here to convince nobody to listen to me, but I will continue to spread positivity over seeing situations and trying to get people really figure out what everybody's beefs and problems really is, and the measurement of how much time do we need to invest in such things. Arguments only really continue to happen because nobody getting to the root of their problems. I know because I've been there, where once a person just refusing to understand or listening to rebut and not understand, you end up just arguing. We really want to hear somebody to fault in what they're saying instead of see sense in someone else's perspective. I want them to see sense in yours. But it's about what people need to say to cause discord. I mean, once you're not in it, you see it for what it is, and it's not my problem. People like, oh my God, who does she think she is? A person who's above that season? That's who I think I am. I'm a person that done climbed above that type of season. Yes, that's exactly who I am. Someone who been in that season and know that it's a time and a place for certain seasons to come to an end, especially when all you get out of those seasons is negativity and evil, when it ain't leading nobody to nothing, when it ain't providing nobody for nothing, when it becomes a pass just for $1. That means, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And I said what I said. Now, I tell the truth and shame whoever want to operate as the devil. I tell the truth and shame the devil and his people. Make me no difference. When you ready to grow, things that I say wouldn't sting. It wouldn't bother nobody. If people was chasing their own God, they wouldn't be worried about mine. If people was chasing their own life and opinions or providing their own opinions, they wouldn't be worried about mine. Y'all ain't got a problem with me. Y'all got a problem with the energy y'all don't want to see around taking over the YouTube streets. Y'all don't want to operate in something that requires you to do some work in yourself. That's what a lot of folks' problem is. Y'all, a lot of people ain't got problems with all this flaws and stuff we all will point out. You see how I ain't have to wait for somebody who wants to be my enemy to stop doing whatever they needed to do, for me to stop operating in a meet you where you at. I don't want to be where you at. Why am I trying to meet you where you at? No. See, my words come from each day trying to grow a little more than I was the day before. See, a lot of people can't grow because they worried about someone else measuring their growth, someone else telling them how much growth they should have on them or have done. They worried about this thing and that thing and can't change because all of their actions, all of their words is based on somebody else, what somebody else want to hear, what somebody else want to see. Knowledge of self is one of the is a powerful thing. Otherwise, you just thinking based off other people's words, other people's thoughts, other people's languages, other people's body language, other people's mentality. Learn a little bit here, see how this. A lot of people moving without passion, ain't passionate about nothing except this stuff can only be rooted for and clap things of that nature because like I said, people for dark places to remain dark because that's what they become comfortable in. Then you have people who think they're actually supporting people by clapping because I like you. So in the dark places where you want to be, like I've got to support you. No, 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 no. You should be if you gonna be rooting somebody on in a dark, it should that you're there to try to pull them out of any type of darkness, pull them out of crashing out, pull them out of somebody in the hell where it comes to words and things of that nature. For real, for real. Oftentimes, I just support this person or that, and the third. Be an excuse to support the nature of things that are of yourself. You don't, you the company that you keep. That don't mean you gotta disown the world. That don't mean you have to disown all the company. But sometimes because people are different individuals, your Saturday this particular week might look a little different than my Saturday night. You know? Sometimes even people you love can find themselves in dark places. It don't mean you discard. It means that let your presence be meaningful in their life. If you're gonna be in a space, have a plan in a space. Some people will call themselves a supporter in your darkness, but they just want to see all of how dark you're gonna get. Some people is just supporting you remaining where you at. See, that's when you can't align your own self thoughts and actions, with your values and who you are. Some people don't even know what support really looks like. Everybody calling and everybody that say, what's wrong? Don't give a dang what's wrong. Some people want to know what's wrong because they're already mapping out how they're already getting their wheels working on how to help you towards a solution. Huh? Now that's a friend. Some people think a friend is somebody that's itching to know your business. Oh, what's wrong? So they can clap for your low vibrational moments. So they go whisper to someone your low vibrational moments. So they can say, "Ooh, girl, guess what's happening to Shirley? Ooh, girl, guess what's happened to Michelle or whoever? What happened to Tammy? Guess what happened to Becky? Guess what happened to Maria?" You hear me? People think good and healthy advice. They too many people out here blind by the messengers and catch the message. Many people worried about taking the advice why they like to get them some advice that's gonna help them because they blinded by alliances, blinded by foundational friendships and things like that. Too big worried about who's talking instead of what they're talking about. That's some crazy work. It's a lot of people not being a friend they self don't even know what a friend ain't in their life. Not even using discernment. So me saying all this is just to say, listen, you are where you are in whatever walk you on, good or evil. But don't think I'm supposed to not utilize my channel in a different way because of how someone prefer it, how what you're used to, what you want. Don't concern yourself with my speech if you're not really hearing me. I might not be what you want to listen to if you are in a place of war. If you at a place where you choosing war, not that you in war and want to get some tools to get up out of that thing. But if that's where you choose to be there. But don't try to lowball somebody else's peace and wanting those that if you support your supporters who support you, you should want the same good for them that you want for yourself. I shouldn't be gloating about no peace, but want war from one that I support or I'm glad supports me. That's what's wrong with people now. Look at supporters who stand with me in the darkness. Who gonna stand with me in the rain? It's also about who gonna help you get out that rain or show you that where it's dry at, or show you how to maintain in the rain. Everybody want a war partner. What about a peace partner? Everybody want to collab on war. Everybody want to set up an army when it comes to war and negativity. What about setting up an army of peace? What about setting up an army of uplifting? What about setting up an army of positivity? Y'all fighting for the deceased to be drug in the YouTube streets. You want an opportunity to be entertained while calling me an opportunist for wanting something different, better, more positive. Want to speak something better and different. Ask yourself, who's really the problem? Who trying to be a solution and who trying to be a problem? Y'all too busy wanting to referee fights. Y'all don't even know how to want to stop them anymore. Don't want to stop fights. Just want to judge who getting knocked out and who ain't. Grow up. If you wasn't in some type of internal pain, you wouldn't just want to see pain all day, every day. And sisters and brothers and whoever else. You wouldn't want to see a spit show every day. So this live here is for the people in the cheap seats that's more worried about their entertainment than somebody they say they supports spirit. People gonna do what they want to do. That is true. But what is your purpose in somebody's life if all you do is root on the chaos? All you do is root on the chaos. Because then you're gonna have to find new entertainment. That's what's wrong with y'all now. Selfish instead of selfless. Be careful with that word I support, because make sure you know what that's supposed to look like. Make sure when you tearing down somebody's character that you're not of that character. That's what I love about the character I am putting forth with myself. Because I care more about my character than I care about getting approval or friends and this, that, and the third. I want people who's attracted to positivity. I mean, listen, there was a time we all used to fight against people said, don't tell me what to feel. Don't tell me what to think. I do what I want. That person shouldn't have said nothing to me. This, that, and the third. Then the next day, then the next day, then the next day. When you have people, and blessings to those that was unheard in chat sometime who was rooting for positivity. But it's not about if somebody gonna listen. It's about you just knowing, listen, there's ways to be there for people, and it's not always to root on our negative behaviors. People might do better if people was rooting for people to do better. Ever think about that? There's so many people saying, no, don't let her get away with that. No. That's a shame, and it's a shame and a half. But anywho, I gotta run. I got things to do. I love y'all. Y'all take it easy, and I hope this message resonated with someone to understand that, don't let my positivity be your problem. Because nobody's negativity is my problem. It's just something worth speaking on, and maybe hoping that people see it's a better way to be entertained. And does that show, what does it show for us if that's the only entertainment we encourage? Sorry for this. Somebody alarm going off. And they sitting in the car. Okay, I think it stopped. But anywho, so yeah, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to take a moment to throw that out there or whatever, because like I said, this is stuff that, it just goes on too long. It's like, don't keep judging people for judge yourself. If you rooting for people to beep, argue, and be negative, judge yourself. Judge why that's what you want to see from your people and why you call that your way of supporting them. Don't come over here judging me because I be caring more about y'all people than y'all. I care more about y'all people mental health than y'all. Don't be mad because I'm learning things or in relearning things and learning things and trying to apply them to my life and share the goodness of those things to others. We already see what being in negativity and evil look like for how many years? We already seen what comparing and contrasting lives look like. They be stealing. Love you, Mama 3. But yeah, so I'm just saying it was worth me taking a minute to, taking this time out to come live and just say, listen, I ain't forcing nobody to eat of nothing I'm over here speaking of. I mean, dang, that was spoken on Genesis. You can eat of whatever fruit tree you want to. If you want to eat off the fruits of negativity and negative energy and this, that, and the third every day of your life, well, get full, have at it. Eat till you throw up. Makes me no difference. If you want to operate in these types of fruits, guess what? It's your life. Go out. But don't be sitting here thinking that a person can't use their voice for something different other than promoting war against people, promoting arguing and this, that, and the third. It's enough support in that. It don't need me. I don't mind standing alone. But don't come acting like I'm the problem. Like, because I'm not over here making my voice all about saying, go, go, go. Oh, I hope the person I'm aligned with out, out talk this, that, or the third about that person's what. That's immature and it's dumb. So don't be in chats and comments trying to check my character when some need to do some character building. See, we gonna talk about some useful things. I don't care how big you is, small you is. I don't care about nobody's outfit. I don't care about where you live and your square footage. I'm here to talk to your character. Don't come chasing down my character when you know you listen, Linda. Don't talk about my peace because you can only understand life and war. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about if my love real or fake towards anybody. If all that you are operating in hate, don't worry about my positivity. If all you operating in you want to focus on and whatever makes you happy is negative, don't worry about it. You got to stick to what you can understand. And if you can't understand peace and positivity, then you certainly cannot judge it. See, I understand what it's like to operate in low vibrational things. I can write a book on it when it comes to these YouTube streets. I can talk about it because I was in it and came out of it. I don't got to wait for nobody's approval. I ain't got to be on nobody's time. Be on your own time. Your character clock don't bother me. But see, when I speak to those who are moving in a direction of wanting to address the love or the non-love they're showing in themselves or to their people. Real conversations only hurt people that ain't ready to keep it real. Adult conversations only bother people that's not ready to adult. People dissecting BS only bother people that only moves in BS. Life's a lesson. You know? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Like you can lead a man to knowledge, but you cannot make him think. I can give you all the knowledge, but I don't care if you make the choice not to operate in it. It don't affect my life. But I'd rather be out here doing my part for humanity to bring people out of staying in dark places made comfortable. I'd rather than sit here and just complain about what humanity, what stage humanity is in, but don't do nothing to make it a better place. See, some people want to complain about it and some people want to do something about it on whatever level they can. You can talk about what God ain't doing, or you can see what you can do, or you can see what you can do. If you think God moving still, why are you moving still? Because God is. Show you right. Stop making what you can't see God doing a reason for you not to beat your feet to something positive. Change the world. Campaign for something positive other than going live and posting about how to tear down the next content creator. Utilize your channels for what you complaining about, eh? Are you advocating for a cause or just want to advocate against your enemy? Is it about the message or is it about the messenger? Don't come for me till you understand yourself. You will never understand me. And you out here can't even understand your own ways of thinking. Some people learn a bunch of words from different sectors and different areas of life and just think they can be that. A lot of people operating in titles that they're not living in. Don't even understand their own titles, but trying to dissect others. See, it's a time and a place when you stop all that fussing and start using your brain for something other than just dragging somebody. You start to learn some things about yourself. And you start to see something like, well, dang, if you ain't got your stuff together, how you gonna be telling other people what they need to be doing in their spirit? If you're not showing a good spirit, how you gonna talk people out of reaching for something that makes them have better thoughts than what you're having? How they able to move vengeance out of their heart, but you can't? So you can talk all day, but if you ain't walking in it, you ain't saying nothing. And that's my time. I love y'all. I got some things to do, but y'all be blessed, never stressed. Faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? Reach for your dreams and your goals and start the day. Cause why wait till tomorrow? I love y'all. Later.